tore off some of the barn roof. And
Okay, I didn't hear about her house.
it's like the only two places that just came down and back up,
And they're,
but they're just about half a mile apart.
did not know her house got hit as well.
Someone else who goes right off of there. That's it.
Okay, we are live.
I don't know, so I just.
Yeah.
Those are the trees. Were just-
Are you-
notice
that-
that, you know, just.
Dodged the
Yeah.
bullet.
Not really. It's better. Thank you. Yeah, welcome to the Board of Riley County Commissioners meeting of June 8th. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Do we have any public comment? Russell?
Morning, Commissioners. Russell Stuckey, Emergency Services Director, Fire Chief. I was just gonna comment on we've got a few comments about the tornadoes last Thursday, or tornado, I should say. Tornadoes, and the outdoor warning sirens not going off in Riley. And so, you know, they both worked the Monday before when we tested them, or all three, I should say, worked. The one that the county owns, you know, has the two-way communication on it. And, but the ones that the city owns haven't been upgraded to the two-way communication. So they're not the same technology, but we have the maintenance companies looking into them to see what went wrong and what needs to be fixed as far as that goes. The other thing that I had questions about was, you know, why wasn't there a watch issued, and then the warning. Of course, they issued the warning as soon as they got a report of a tornado. They said that was the only one in Kansas that day. It says the Storm Prediction Center out of Oklahoma City is who does the watches, and they said it was less than a 2% chance for tornadoes, which is relatively low risk for this time of the year. And they just didn't feel that the atmospheric conditions warranted it, and so it was kind of just literally came up out of nowhere. And you know, some people made the comment that well, if it was bigger, it could have been a lot worse, and that's true. But if it was bigger, they probably would have saw it. Kind of like a needle in a haystack type of thing. So you know, we're looking into it, but the other thing this reinforces is the outdoor warning sirens are just one piece of the puzzle. You should have multiple ways to get notified, whether it's, you know, alerts on your phone, you know, local news, weather, radio, NOAA weather radio, all those different. You should have at least 3 or preferably 4 or 5 different routes to get that type of information. And the outdoor warning sirens are only intended to notify people that are outdoors. They aren't intended to penetrate your home, and they're not intended to be heard from inside. And they're old technology. They're, you know, 30 to 50 plus year old technology. It's fairly antiquated. So that is not what I would rely on as my primary notification for.
Well, yeah, I had on my TV and there was a blurb, one of those. It only came on one time though.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know where that came from, but it
Yeah, that
did
would've-
say in Riley County.
Yeah, that would have basically came from the National Weather Service
Was it?
through iPause, presumably, but
It's weird that it came on TV and nothing else.
So was there any system that warned anyone beforehand? Because I was listening to the radio and paying attention, and there, just before that, all the severe warnings had been canceled.
Mhm.
Then the storm popped up, and so I understand what you're saying, but I'm not aware that any system warned anyone before this one.
no, there was no warning prior to the tornado being sighted. The warning was the firsthand sightings, and then I think Tyler said 4 or 5 911 calls all at once, hitting
Hmm.
dispatch, and luckily the dispatcher on duty, I say luckily, even though it didn't work, they rightfully, I should say, made the decision to sound this without trying to call me, which I was off and then they would have to call Lori or go down the chain. They just made the decision to set them off, which is within our guidelines for them, our SOGs, and the right decision.
But by the time sirens were supposed to have signaled, it was gone.
Right. Yeah, it was
It's about a half mile
Mhm.
long or so.
it was down, then it was up, and like you said, it was going. Any other questions?
Down on somebody's house we knew, went to the other one we knew and
Yeah.
back up.
You had to break out your chainsaw then?
No, there was a ton of people out there the next day.
Yeah.
Cutting up stuff.
And then to boot, there was a lot of flooding at the same time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, thanks.
Okay, yeah, Brittany?
Sorry. Good morning, Commissioners. Brittany Phillips, Budget and Finance Officer. With Commissioner Ford not being here today, would you like to reschedule the appropriations discussion that we had at the end of the meeting?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Should.
okay. The Thursday agenda, as I'm sure you've already seen, is pretty full. So I will schedule for next Monday if I can get
I
on it.
appreciate you getting that. Now I got even more, I got a whole list of stuff on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I don't need him to correct me. I know what to do. Okay, more.
Good morning, Lori Harrison, Emergency Management Coordinator. Along with the tornado that we had lots of rain and lots of rain up north. And we're seeing that now coming into Tuttle Creek Lake, where the conservation is usually 1075 and we're now at 1091. So we're keeping our eye on that. Public Works is keeping their eye on the roads for barricades. So just another FYI and another public service announcement is don't drive into flooded roadways. We've had several rescues this year with people driving into roadways that are flooded, and so please just be aware of that. So
You
we're
know-
watching the lake.
Do you know what their schedule is on the lake?
I don't, but they're not letting much out, and I imagine because everybody's flooded downstream.
Mhm.
Yeah, the inflow was 19,100 and something cubic feet, and they're only letting out like 100 something. So it's rising. So keep an eye on it. Any questions on the lake? No. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other public comment this morning?
Nope, none for me.
Okay, we'll go to commissioner comments.
I can't get
You can't get on?
the
Oh. Where'd IT go? Anyway, well, I guess
it's an opening. Friday, we had the pre-law board meeting for our next meeting. Where it is, the 15th. Went over some of the main thing is going to be adjusting the budget down from what was printed for, or approved for publication. Then we have a executive session meeting only on the 10th. And other than that, I spent time reviewing, spent a lot of time going through appropriations. That's all I had.
Okay. Well, Thursday afternoon, the dentist office called and said they had an opening to, they removed the tooth I was gonna have done today. So I went and got over with. And then Stormy, unfortunately, I go back later that evening to get the bleeding stopped. Rather crazy right during the storm to get through the water on the road. I wasn't driving, the lady driving it, she came over, neighbor came over and drove me in. Went, slow down, you know, the water was way over the road. Some of it, anyway. So we made it, and water in Wildcat Creek, which is behind my house, up very high, and throughout the night and the next day. So it's finally kind of calmed down, gone back in its banks, but it was probably 15 feet up, something like that. So. So Friday, let's see, I came to the council's office to sign the emergency declaration for the storm damage caused by the storm. Then later that afternoon, I too attended the pre-law board meeting at the RCPD. We met with Bram Pete to discuss the upcoming special meeting, 5 p.m. on Nice of June 10th, and that's the meeting Monday, June 15th at noon. Saturday and Sunday are pretty quiet, caught up on some work at home, reviewed the agenda and documents for today's meeting, including appropriations. And on Sunday, I attended church and had lunch with a friend and did some house cleaning. So that's it for me.
For business commissioners, the only item we have is need a motion on the 2027 K-State extension request, budget request.
Yeah. I move to approve the 2027 Kansas State Extension request as presented.
I would second that. It's been moved and seconded to approve the 2027 K-State Extension request as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair, please sign. Any changes to minutes, commissioners?
On that last item,
Mhm.
we talked about stuff, said she'd bring it back. It said the 18th, she can bring it back the 11th.
Gotcha.
Just sit next Thursday, but skip the day, it looks like, or skip the weekend. And I realize it isn't, that's not what happened.
Yeah,
That's what it said.
but that's what was said then, I understand.
Okay, any other corrections to the minute?
I moved to approve the minutes as amended from the June 4th meeting.
I would second that. It's been moved and seconded to approve the June 4th meeting of Raleigh County Commission as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Tentative agenda, commissioners,
Okay,
any items for next week's press conference? Not, I'm up next at 9 o'clock.
Office real quick. Open email.
You what?
You overrun that's 7. Gotta grab a bunch of papers. You will to get
Okay.
into the email.
Oh, no, I did too. I did
That was
too.
my 7th one this.
Yeah. Not, this password stuff's ridiculous.
Look at the Mercury
Mm-mm.
letter to the editor from my grandson.
Oh, really?
What a data centers.
Oh, really? Is he in favor? Here, Shawnee County's broaching that issue right now. Heard that on the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are all the rage, that's for sure.
Like I said, we were just at this ball game Friday night. Didn't say anything about it. And I didn't see it. Saturday, Sunday at the church, somebody said, was that Jake's grandson? Was that
How is he?
7th? Correct. Yeah, 7th grade.
Yes, they are the talk of the town, that's for sure.
Nick.
I should have grabbed Dave before he left. It's not, I want to know. X from the Ford with ECK, so I don't know if, you know what it is, IFPYCK?
Can I see it?
And he's been here 8 years. Paramedic.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think.
Would you put the two together, Scott, like Tenet or Tenet?
Scenic, yeah. I think that's how I would say it. Scenic.
What's that? Yeah, yes.
Well, yeah, 8 years. I hope I can get it right. I'll have to. I wonder if David's in the building, if he left. This was really Howard. This one's 40 years.
Who's that?
Donna.
Oh, wow.
Donna
40 years.
Porter.
Oh, wow. She's the second,
Porter.
or she's the assistant.
She's a vehicle supervisor. Right.
She's the next one under Shiloh.
Oh, I was thinking public. She's a Shiloh's off. Okay, yeah.
Sure, you see her, she comes in here frequently.
I think she's the one who pushed me ahead in the line. She comes out there and saw me in line, so that's, I called in. Okay,
I know it's my month to go get that stuff done.
that's a good idea to call in for.
Yeah. Yeah, need to do it sooner or later.
Yeah, I did. I waited till the last day.
Yeah, did you? I'm sure you and a few other folks.
Yeah, quite a lot. I had it sitting there for, a couple weeks.
Did you? Yeah, just ready to be done. You're like, yeah.
Oh, geez, yeah.
I know, since Casey graduated college, and she started a job at Pawnee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did you get that?
So, I let her have the truck and I got myself a new car. So
Car was.
yeah, she wanted the truck. She was like, I don't want anything else. Give me the truck. I was like, you can have it. That's fine.
Take the motorcycle.
She didn't take no. I just got a Civic, basic little Civic. I got a 6-speed, so it's a fun little manual. I love driving manuals. So, and it's also anti-theft. So there ain't nobody around. Like hardly anybody knows how to drive them anymore.
Stick, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's fun.
So we're talking to the guy here one day, he had worked with Public Works summer. And he said he's out there, and they said, oh, why don't you go pull that truck in? They thought he wouldn't know how to, he got in and told the truck. You know how to drive a stick? Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
was right.
they thought,
They
see,
get it
just
with
like a
that.
high school kid, they were like, watch this. I can try to figure out how to. He got in, go where they wanted to, and they're like, oh.
Ruin their fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
I got to teach Casey how to do it, although I don't know if I want her to do it on this car.
Wesley won't teach me
No.
because he taught a girlfriend
What's
once.
the 4-speed?
and She blew up his transmission.
Oh God. It's 6.
I killed the battery in my dad's truck, having to restart it so many times when I killed it.
I just
The battery
imagine
went dead.
the smell of the burning transmission, the plate. Yeah, that would be hard to deal with.
Like I said, I didn't do that. Like I said, I just. It bump and killed.
Kill it, yeah.
He took us out.
Or you bump.
Took us out to Gage Park, and there was closed off some of those, but it used to be kind of a road to go around through there.
Yeah, I
There was
learned.
many people out there, and he was going, and there was this one place you pulled up, it's slight slope, and he kept making me go up there.
They're like, no.
Took several tries, but then I mean, once you learn.
Yeah. Yeah, you pretty much got it down. And it helps that also I know how to drive motorcycles, so it's kind of like the same concept. It's similar, but not quite the same. And I learned in the parking lot where Academy Sports is in Topeka. I think it was where there's also in Orchlands, I think.
Oh.
It's on off of Wanamaker.
20.
That'd be like right off the highway. There's that little
Yeah,
complex.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where I went to that parking lot. My mom taught me how to do it. So, and it was in a Mustang, so that was fun.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
Mine was an El Camino.
nice.
With a 327.
There you go.
And glass packs. Yeah, I liked his.
Wow, you did not. That's not an easy one to start with.
Yeah.
Well, it's like if you learn how to do it on this one, you pretty much got it for the rest.
Being out in the country. Pickup. It was an old, oh gee, it was an old 1940 something
Yeah,
Studebaker or something crazy, and then I had a
Big old
Hudson
boat.
Jet for that.
Oh.
I don't even know what that one is.
Don't
Don't
ask
even.
was.
Do you know what a Hudson Jet is?
No, I know I've heard of the Studebaker. I've seen that one.
Well, my dad was, he
Hudson
was a
was-
great mechanic, and then he had a showroom, so he had Hudson's in the showroom. He was a Hudson dealer, and he'd get on the bus and go to Kansas City, pick up a car and drive it back.
Oh,
Yeah.
what, wasn't Hudson's the one that had the turning headlight at one? There was a lot of advances, new things that nobody else had done. But whatever it was, he had too much in it. They were, I don't know why,
Huh.
they didn't last for very long.
Huh.
I think that was the one, he had, on some of them, he had one headlight in the front. And when he turned,
Oh, it just moved.
he would turn.
I don't.
That's kind of weird. That's crazy.
Well, those.
They look sharp. I look at them now. They look pretty sharp. Yeah, they do look like a tank.
It's my whole family, that all the grandparents and great uncles got that. I got my dad from
Okay.
business.
And I've had six off and on.
Yeah, they're fun. It's something about it. It's
Yeah,
just
but-
more engaging.
I don't know. The driving through town, it gets to be a pain.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. I took it through Arkansas a couple weeks back on the mountains they have down there, and that was a ton of fun. Going the legal speed limit, of course. Of course, as one does. What does Wesley have for his?
Oh, he doesn't actually have anything fun anymore.
No?
No.
What happened there? The kids?
No, he just like got side by side and was like good enough.
Oh.
And so he had, or has had,
Oh, okay.
Cadillac CTSVs.
Ooh, fun.
Find out controversy.
So
So
a lot of interest in it.
that day,
Ooh, that was not cheap.
No, no. And of course he had extra to it because.
Oh, yeah.
And then he had a Cadillac ATSV, but then,
Is that the 2-door?
no,
That's a 4-door. Okay.
yeah, the CTS.
Is the 2-door? Okay. Yeah. Those are always interesting looking cars. I've never been in one, but they look neat.
And then he had a Fiat Abarth for a while, which is so tiny. It really got fun.
It is.
Yeah, and so,
It's real light when it weighs nothing, right?
yeah, so that one was fun, but I mean, he's had so many cars. I mean, he just goes through 'em.
That's his thing.
Yeah. Yeah. His new thing, actually, he just got like a 96 Honda bike.
Hmm.
It's all red bike. He loves it. He was so excited. And he finds these most random things. He'll just like put it out in the universe and he'll be like, oh, I'm just like, I've been thinking about this vehicle, this random, very always
Niche.
particular.
Yeah.
And then, oh, I found this, $2,000. He'll, go buy it. And I'm like, hello.
And of course, I'm sure it comes completely, ready to go or
Most of the time, he'll
Wow.
just work into it. But like, he bought that Buick a while ago, and he was like, seriously, it was after we bought my car.
What's that?
And he was like, okay,
Just
so
I
now
know, but
this
then
is
I can't figure out what that's.
town. And so he was like, oh, I'm looking for this Buick, whatever he got. And his boss's friend had one in the shed on his farm that he never drove. Ever, barely has any miles. I mean, air conditioner works better than my car. Yeah, he's had to replace a couple of things, but.
Yeah.
What in the world? He just finds all these random little things all the time.
I guess if you know, you keep an eye out for him, he knows what to look for, right?
And he just knows something. Just kind of looks out at us.
Yeah.
And he's going on like
They're trying to figure it out, so maybe so.
he just happened to mention it to one of his old teachers that like he's best friends with his son, and so he was just like I'm looking for this whole like Honda, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I have one at the farm. And so Wesley traded his electric bike for that. I'm like, okay,
Is it a motorcycle?
yeah.
Or, yeah. Cool.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is strange how much it just.
Especially
Here
not
it is.
sure kids on it.
Did you go for a ride on it?
No, he won't teach me
Gonna teach you what?
how to ride the motorcycle.
And the motorcycle, not very hard.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's easy to put a scooter or.
Yeah, a
Is it
little-
That on?
Yeah,
It's just like that.
yeah.
Here, I'll go.
That's funny. Just sitting on a farm somewhere as well.
But I never tried it.
I bet that thing's good. It gets pretty good gas on it.
Yeah, I don't know. He was excited the other day because we didn't have the kids, I think, and so he got to take it to work and.
Nice.
I didn't know Hudson's were around since 1909. I know the 40s and 50s is when they were. Hudson Hornet was the big one.
Oh, was it?
My boss. My boss in Leavenworth had one of those that was working on getting fixed up.
They were quite,
And then he already, I couldn't trying to sell, and there was
How you
another
doing?
guy in town that had 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
He wanted, so he'd been wanting to get days for a long time, about that.
well, they
And
weren't
now they're
fast,
no
they were-
longer.
They were,
they
they
were
were
big.
NASCAR,
Yeah, they.
Were
had
they
like
really?
early 50s, they
V8, big
dominated
V8s, yeah.
NASCAR.
Hudson Hornets, yeah, we had a Hudson Hornet, Hudson Jet, Hudson.
I didn't know. I
What
thought-
was
I
it,
thought
was
they were
a
just-
sedan, I forget what they were called.
It says there was a Commodore.
Hmm.
But Hudson Hornet is one of.
Yeah. They, I think they have some Hudsons, I can't remember which one's over it, I think the big sedan over at the car museum.
No.
Oh yeah, they had some of that, something going on this weekend over there at the car
Yeah,
museum. I didn't stop and see, but they had something going on.
Didn't last too long.
They just did
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
a car show outside
Yeah.
in the morning. First, that, the first Saturday.
That must have been, yeah. Yeah, I think that
Just
was
see
it.
Anybody pulling their cars and.
Yeah, they had some cool looking ones when I drove by. But didn't get to stop.
My old Hudson Jet would use a lot of oil. So I had to check it all the time.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good for you now, would it?
Yeah, one New Year's Eve, girls and I were driving around town, around stopping. I got out and got in with my boyfriend and so my girlfriends, I let them drive the car. Apparently, a red light kept coming on and they ignored it.
Hmm. And that probably didn't go very
The
well.
car and it froze up.
Yeah, whoops.
It just,
Break the entire thing.
so I had to tell my dad, I had to take the blame for it. I wasn't supposed to let anybody.
Well, you're a good friend.
Yeah. Was the punishment was he put it in his garage and I had to he kept it there for like 6 months.
Just to remind you.
I had to beg people for car runs, of course, it's this weekend. But I learned my lesson on that one.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, stranger.
How are you?
I'm good. Ready, commissioners? Hey, commissioners, Rich Varga, Raleigh County Clerk. First report before you is 2026 year-to-date wages and overtime compared to budget report. You can see in the upper right-hand corner, we had the 41.67% point in time of the year. Hard to believe we're that far already. Seemed like we're just at the beginning of the year, and here we're getting close to halfway. You can see those that are highlighted in the red to the right there are those that are above that. That's just a little barometer we like to usually keep an eye on how people are doing, how departments are doing, respective to their budget in payroll. Nothing alarming at this point in time. Always like to look at the center column, the percent of overtime. Sometimes, of course, and could with this kind of weather, just with Russell and Lori were talking about in flooding times before, sometimes we can accumulate a lot of overtime. So those respective departments that do potentially get more overtime, such as snow removal and things like that, we do budget more overtime in those departments. No big red flags at this point. Everyone looks at the 18.43 for EMS ambulance, but everyone has to remember that is budgeted expected overtime due to their schedules. Any questions on that first page, commissioners? Used to be able to scroll down, can't anymore. There's the next report. This is a little bit more detailed breakdown, commissioners, of regular salary, seasonal, and overtime for the respective departments. Give you a little bit better idea of where, which respective area those minutes are being spent. Any questions on that report, commissioners? Next report, a little bit small. Fix that. May financial reports. Look at the big screen because this monitor here is just not doing the best. You can see those once again, 41.7% point in time of year, commissioners, those highlighted in the blue or that are right at that or just over that. Those are anticipated. The budget appropriation, the insurance, those are cyclical. That'll catch up by the end of the year. Most likely planning and development, that's just one that's just right at it. So no real big concerns there. And of course, general fund transfers have been made. Always like to look at 2 lines down from that largest section of blue, general. It's atypically low at the 7.84%. And that's where we want it because that's where we have that budget stabilization amount. And we don't want to use that funding. But the reason budget stabilization was implemented was because of the 93 floods. Any questions on this first page, commissioners? Next page, that highlighted in the blue once again, you can see those, one actually over a little bit. Nothing too concerning right there. Of course, we get the community corrections. These are ones that, of course, Brittany will keep an eye on throughout the year. Towards about November, we'll be figuring out what we need to do for budget amendments. Any questions on that page there, commissioners? Next page are all enterprise funds. Those are funds where no ad valorem tax dollars are used. It is all paid by fees and special assessments for those individuals that live, reside, and pay taxes in those areas. All of those look to be doing good at this point in time. Any questions on those? Next report, just a little bit more detailed breakout. Respective expenditures for the previous years compared to this year. And that was something we developed years ago, May to May, and then also year to date through May. Just give the commissioners a snapshot, while not always an apples to apples comparison of how budgets are performing this year as opposed to last year. Any questions on any of those, commissioners? Next is the 2026 year-to-date budget activity. A little bit more detailed breakdown on the line item that I showed you above for the department general. Personnel, there are no personnel to get paid directly out of this for hourly or weekly pay. That's separation of service pay. I always like to point out the miscellaneous budget stabilization at 4.25 million. As I said, we don't want to have to use those because that's reserved for emergencies. Any questions on this page, commissioners? Next page is RCPD expenses paid by Riley County. This is a good page. A lot of people don't realize that we are responsible for more than just the appropriation amount, the 20%. We also have to pay by statute anything medically related, and then all building maintenance for that facility, the LEC. Next report I like a little bit better, give you a snapshot comparison where we are compared to the last few years. Of course, once again, we just heard the report last week on the number of inmates that we have. They're not always the healthiest clientele as well. And so that has a direct impact on our budget. We budget appropriately as we can based on previous numbers. As you can see, every year has just gone up. Last year, an extremely large amount. This year could be the same. Regardless if we budgeted for it appropriately or not, we are statutory obligated to pay for it. Any questions on that, commissioners? It's something we do watch closely. Next report, a little more detailed breakdown of offsite inmate medical. Once again, see where we're at in the pool balance. We're already negative in that. It's just due to the cost of medical, and then also the large numbers. So yeah, their numbers just keep going up and up. And then of course, not related to medical, we now have so much of the offsite housing that we're doing for both juveniles and adults. This budget is very difficult. Any questions, commissioners? Okay, I have one additional thing for you, commissioners. Have the breakout here of the 2026 June certified values. Important number in the preparation of what Brittany will be giving you the next several weeks. So the total assessed value is $909,136,566. That equates to a mill value of $909,136. Of course, as you know, the large increase, the TIF number 5 went off. That's $14,501,768 that went off. Also have a breakout here on the real estate utilities and all of those that I'll give you. It's very interesting information each year.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to remember. The overall increase is 6.57, but that is largely due to that tip coming off. So I think everyone always looks at, what the respective values went up in real estate, utilities, personal property, oil and gas. And of course, those all did adjust, but there is that large amount with that TIF coming off. That helps that value of the mill significantly. So it is a 6.57% increase, which is a sizable increase compared to the last several years. Any questions, commissioners? You guys have any questions as you go through those reports or you go through these certified values? Let me know and we'll do our best to get you the answers. Thank you. Next, Commissioner, you have John Ellerman at 9:15.
It's not that Marletta house.
It's not, huh?
So that is,
Yeah, no, it's not.
look at this picture is up here.
It almost.
Oh,
looks
this
like a
one?
house on-
Yeah.
I think they were saying it was the good now.
Yeah, it was for some.
Oh, is that good now?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Well, I know when Lori was in,
The one that's over in.
it's right off of,
Good morning,
By
bootless
the
woman.
Museum.
yeah.
Walk with a little bit of hesitancy there. How's it coming?
Yes.
Gonna avoid surgery?
Oh, oof. Exciting.
But I would move to my walking shoes, so.
Gotcha. Disguised, huh?
That's it.
Rich,
Mhm.
that TIF in downtown that we're talking about, would that be like the Discovery Center? Or do you have any idea what that is?
Five, that would have included everything, because they added that into it.
East, North
Mhm.
End,
Mhm.
yeah.
And-
Both sides. Mhm.
Okay.
What was the one in Aggieville? Was that just for the roads?
Is that that hotel? Hotels down
Mhm. And
Buildings.
what year that comes off.
there? Remember whose building is that? Nine?
Hmm.
Nine, building is- Oh,
No, because that one wasn't Bill.
no.
That would've been
The
The parking garage and everything.
Yeah.
In that infrastructure. Hmm?
I knew it was gonna go up. But
That surprised me. It went
Oh.
up that much.
So next thing. Cleaning up boxes of stuff. One from 2018.
Mhm.
The budget worksheet
Mhm.
evaluation was 600. Mel was 653 or something.
Mhm. Yeah.
Amazing how much changed just in the last 10 years. I don't know what, I have to look at and see what year it was, but I mean, it's a big jump since in the last few years.
Yeah. Even with 3% goes consistently over time is amazing.
Actually, there's no glass on here.
Well,
Don't lean on it.
the heat was getting to that screen, as you can
Yeah.
tell.
Ready? Morning, Commissioners. John Ellerman, Public Works with my monthly update. But first, I wanted to show you a couple sample signage that we were asked about putting in a logo symbol on the podium here. The picture doesn't do it very good, much justice, I guess, but this is an acrylic piece that's just shaped like our logo, and it'll be stuck on here with like double-sided tape. I have Kyle with Cedar Mills who designed these things for us, if you have any questions for him. But that's what that would look like on the podium. Cindy asked them for another sign out front on the door that will commission meeting and then executive flip it over for executive session. That's what that middle one is. And then don't know where, but they submitted this for us here. Piece of walnut engraved with the Raleigh County logo filled with epoxy. And I think that was planned to maybe put on this wall if you wanted to. Yes, this one, okay.
Because we just want to remove the seam.
I don't know, that's a lot of money for that, $2,300 for that.
That's why I brought it to you.
I mean, it doesn't really do anything for me, it should maybe have the county engraved, I don't know, it's just this.
I mean, it's a neat sign, but I
It
don't
is
need,
Okay.
the other two, I think are good.
You like the other
Yeah.
two? I do for sure thought we could handle the other two. They can produce more of these if we wanted to stick one on a desk, one at the desk, or a couple
Mhm.
places in front of the desk. However, for sure that was meant for this.
So that's gonna actually be on another signage, or is it gonna be actually engraved?
It won't be engraved. It'll be a raised piece of acrylic plastic that shaped like the county logo, and then we'll apply it, stick it to the front of the.
So it'll look basically like that,
But it'll stand out.
it'll stand out.
Yeah.
Do you want me to come up or can I talk from here?
If you're,
If you want him to explain, you need more explanation?
Well, I think that's good, yeah, it will stand out a little bit,
Yes.
okay, it'll be an acrylic thing that
Is that
stands up,
acrylic?
okay.
And because of the way that you guys, there's now a structure for what color schemes can be used for the Riley County logo. And so that's just the acrylic would match that color scheme, so we can have it blue.
Okay. Well, we can never change the logo then.
Well, you can. Just be ready to spend a little bit of money if you want to change
And
it.
every vehicle.
Yeah.
Every letterhead, every.
There.
Okay.
If it stands out, that'll look a lot better.
Yeah, it's a 4-inch thick.
All right, that's
It's not
that.
the lines there.
There's a double-sided sign for the door, okay.
If there's nothing else with that, then I will move on with the rest of my update. So Winkler Mills, we are ready to bid. We did apply for a cost share program with KDOT. And we found out the other day that we were approved for that. It'll be about $600,000, so just that much cost saving on probably almost $1 million, a little over $1 million bridge replacement. So, you know, that'll help with that. What we're waiting for now is to get any agreements and contract with KDOT for the cost share, and then we'll set that out to bid. So hopefully we can get that working by the end of the year in this winter. Marlat Road, we have field check plans coming up here at the end of June. Our field check, we'll go out there and walk the project with the engineers in the city, and see what needs to be changed or what we like or don't like on the plans, how they have got it so far. So that's moving along. I think the goal for that is to be finished with design by the end of this year and be able to bid it for project next summer. Judicial Services, they have done their initial programming, their interviews with the departments. And working on the block diagrams, we have some. So yeah, they're still working on it and getting a little more depth and know what we'll be looking at as far as how the layout may be, and give you a couple examples and what you want to do.
Yeah, have they decided when that we're gonna do tours?
They've been thinking about different ones. I think they threw out a couple scenarios or a couple routes, which you might have to do. Those going to be a 2 or 3 day deal, depending on where we end up going. I think one was like from Illinois to one in Missouri to Johnson County one. A couple of the other ones were then in Virginia. So
Yeah.
these are,
Well, I thought we were gonna do like local ones, like Salina and,
I mean, not if you want them to have participated in the project. You're not going to get too many local.
for tours.
For tours, but if you want that stuff that they had done, we're
Oh.
not gonna get there. That easy.
No, I was saying, well, I was thinking we were looking at tours within the state or close in, nothing in further out, but.
You know, I don't, I kind of figured that's what you were running, but that's not what I think the impression they had, so.
Huh, I thought we had it.
That's
written
why
in the-
somewhere to look.
Yeah, we can go to Virginia, my daughter's down there, we go to DC and look at some of that.
So that's where some of that's gonna be. That's where I think one of them was Virginia over there. There was 2 of them out that far east.
Mm.
And the other one would have been a round trip from, I don't know which way we started, but there was one in Illinois, there was one in Columbia, Missouri, and then Johnson County.
Now, I don't know where they got that idea that we wanted to go to their things. I thought we were gonna do the ones, more local kinds of Kansas.
Yeah, I don't know if that was ever said, other than we wanted a tour of ones, and then I think they probably assumed the ones that they have worked on. Or had a part of. So we can address that again.
Yeah,
I think we're way early anyway.
yeah, I don't think we need to go clear out. That'd be really expensive. Missouri would probably be okay, or.
Yeah, Columbia's 3 hours, 4 hours away.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I think Johnson County and don't they have a new one in Salina?
No.
No, I don't
Or
think so.
somewhere.
Lion.
Lion
In
County.
Korea, there's one in Korea and one in Leavenworth that are pretty new.
So,
Okay,
okay, well, that's something we still need to talk to them about and talk with them about. Health department study, it's kind of stalled out, waiting to see how things shake out and how. I wanted to make sure everybody was comfortable with where they're at and where we're at before we send somebody in to interview staff about what shapes and sizes and spaces they need, right? So we're kind of setting it on hold. I'm leaving it up to, we'll see, I guess, the next few weeks to see where we end up with that. And yeah, that's it. Airport Road Culvert. It's now a bridge and it's completed. It's been open to traffic, and I think last week's storm, it was almost over tops again. But that's to tell you how much water come down through that area. Park screws, trying to mow through the rains, working on the Keats Island, the flower bed on the island in front of Keats. Working on getting scheduled the shelter for the dog park at Seco. And then the replacement playground equipment up at the Seco playground. We've been thinking about or trying to do a project in front of the courthouse that will help take water, any overflow off the gutters or in the roof, that and maybe keep it from getting inside. Putting a drain on this southeast corner, and at least nothing else draining out towards the sidewalk and away from the building. Not much good places to really take all that water, but better than inside. So when we get some better weather, some consistent weather, we might tackle that project here before this summer. Operations gravel crew has been working on grading and rocking roads, to prep for dust control. And everything we put on the last month is now off on a few spaces. So we'll have to go back and redo our preparation for that. And we put, when I wrote with this update, we were scheduled for today to start the mag chloride, and now I think we're put off in at least another week or so. So, yeah, that's, we got some fixing up to do before we can put that on for. Bridge crew's been out. They worked on the generator pad at the LEC. And then while they're out there, they wanted a basketball pad. So while they're there, they put that in for it too. Something for more activity while they're outside. We'll be looking at the crosswalk in Riley, putting a new curb in and different lighting system for the crosswalk right in front of the school. On Anderson. Asphalt crews out doing overlay inspection. We've had a couple of their crew out there doing with the overlay project, assisting other people. And then the Friday we called in the bridge crew and the gravel crew to look at roads and make sure they were all open and free of debris. Today they're out making service requests, checking roads for damage, taking pictures, getting an assessment on how much damage we had and which roads they want to do start fixing them first. So working on that. Crack seal, we've been doing some crack seal and not a ship seal, but a chip seal. That'd be interesting.
Didn't know we had that much rain.
Getting prepared.
In certain spots we did, I think some of them wish they did have one. And then doing some crack sealing in Randolph. Open positions. We still have some seasonal parks. We were supposed to have one start today, and as of today, he had not done his open enrollment paperwork, so maybe he's not starting today. We made another offer to somebody else who didn't ever call back. So not having much luck trying to find seasonal labor for parks. And they've called and interviewed many people. They're not either answering phone calls, returning calls, or just weren't a good candidate for that. So we've got an opening for asphalt crew. We've got a few applicants I think they're going to start looking at here this week. Parks crew's got a handful, 3 or 4 of them. They've been looking through those for a full time. And then our transfer station customer support services person started today. He showed up and is ready to do all his stuff and ready to go to work today. University Park Lagoon, they're working on trenching force main, starting to make a little bit better progress than the beginning. It was pretty slow work. And Lagoons, it's got a big old hole out there on the middle of their golf course. So they're moving along and working pretty well. Keats, just to keep an update, they will probably start in August when some of the crew gets freed up at University Park, can move over to them. Emergency management remodel, sounds like it looks like they're on schedule to move in 1st of July. As of the other day, the paint, final coats of paint's going on, cabinets are being put in. Power, some of the utilities are being hooked up and start working in there, so it's moving right along. So ITGIS, we have a pre-bid meeting tomorrow morning upstairs so that any contractors that have set of plans and are interested in bidding must attend this meeting or we're not gonna accept their bids. And then the bid opening is June 18th. So, and it sounds like we got a pretty good request for plans, so. The transfer station tipping floor was opened on Thursday. So that's a big plus on that. So now we can get back to normal. Alvin and his crew are looking at getting rid of the old temporary chute here this week or next. Corridor management study. Working with KDOT and Benish and that group that's doing the study. Starting to have some participation meetings. The first one will set up for June 22nd and 23rd. There'll be one in Wamego and one in Potoff. And they'll have strip maps of the whole study area with highlights and things that they've looked at so far. Mainly, this one would be showing what the existing conditions are today and what would happen if no construction, no bids, no buildings have improvements were made by 2035, maybe 2050 even. But they go out that far to show what that would be. And you've seen the second crossing information that Jared has shown with the bridges. I have a township maintenance agreement that I'm gonna bring to you in the next couple of weeks. Just for your final approval before we start sending it out to townships for the work we do for the ones we are already doing work for. The water tower, if you haven't been out there or been by or heard, it is erected, it's up. Looks like they have a trailer and some material there to start sandblasting and paint here pretty soon. So we'll start seeing that come together. That was interesting to watch them put that together like a little jigsaw puzzle, 3D jigsaw puzzle. It was pretty cool. The LEC generator working with the electricians and OSC, Erasmus Scalera for plans to put the electricity together and what they need for that. The gas company's got the plumbing on our end. We've built a pad. So we're just now waiting for the plans to finish so we can get a price from the electricians and the transfer switch to come in. Asphalt overlay, we should be soon this week. 2 more days, 3 more days. The way, if I guesstimate, it's 3 more days, so. And then you saw the podium logo, so that's all I have on here unless you have any questions. Oh, we are gonna do a Purple Wave auction. We've got a list of equipment from Michael, Noxious Weed and Public Works and the fire. And I think what we're gonna try to do this time is Purple Wave all their surplus stuff in lots, so we'll see how that works. We were having problems, actually, the auctioneer that we've had in the past and for so long, Ruckert, didn't want anything to do with it this time. And so that kind of limits us to what we can do and how we can do it, so we're gonna try to Purple Wave and then see what we can get. And if that works okay, maybe we do that a little bit more often to get rid of stuff quicker instead of storing 3, 4, 5 full Connex boxes full of stuff.
Okay, let's see, next we have the press conference, okay, KAC Awards presentation. Okay, pleased to present the Kansas Association of Counties recognition awards. And we'll go through the various years they awarded. First one we have is for Michael Huffman, Solid Waste Operator 2 here in Raleigh County. Come forward. Award. Congratulations for 8 years of service.
Oh, we'll do one at the end, like everybody.
Oh. Okay. Okay, we have another 8 years association award for Jason Rogers.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Next award we have is from Scott Tenike, paramedic, Raleigh County. Josh is gonna,
So.
okay.
I'm pretty sure your name was Scott.
Oh, thank you, Frank.
he said thank you.
And now we go to 32 years. The award goes to Jerry Howard, facility supervisor at Raleigh County. And his pin. Cool. Okay. Oh, boy. This is for Donna Burgerding. I never know how to pronounce it. 40 years of service. Vehicle supervisor at Raleigh County. Okay, that's all the awards. Do we want to have everybody up here? Okay, Greg. Or do we want to do a second?
Over here.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. All right.
I'm already doing.
Thank you guys. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Remember, Donna, just do it.
Pepsi, right? Stop.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no.
Want to stay in the air or go in the other one? Zoom in.
I move that county commissioners, including Chairwoman Foki, Commissioner McKinley, and Jacob Hansen, County Councilor attorney for the commission, Elizabeth Ward, human resource director, and Amanda Webb, planning and development director, recess into executive session pursuant to the non-elected personnel matters exception to the Kansas Open Meeting Act in order to evaluate the performance of a department head. Open meeting to resume in the county commission chambers at 10:10 a.m.
And second that. It's been moved and seconded for the county commission to recess into executive session for the reasons previously stated under the non-elected personnel matters exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act. All in favor? Aye.
And then the notice there.
Your life.
I'll move the Board of County Commissioners come out of executive session.
Second that. It's been moved and seconded. The Board of County Commissioners come out of executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move the record reflect no binding action was taken during the executive session.
I would second that. It's been moved and seconded that the record reflect no binding action was taken during the executive session. All in favor? Aye.
You're up.
Commissioner Jacob Hansen.
Ah, yes. All right, good morning, Commissioners. Jacob Hansen, Riley County Councilor. I do not have much to update you on since last week. However, of course, we got our Prairie Wood decision on Friday, and so ultimately we won the case. Interestingly enough, the court decided to take a stricter view of what I was advocating for, which certainly we still end up on the better side of that. If you recall, part of the question was, what do we do when we get a protest petition? And when a parcel wants to protest, how many people do we require to sign, right, in order to count that parcel? So there were basically three options. There was option one, which is just one of them needs to sign. If there's like, let's say 4 people, just one of them needs to sign. Option two, which is what I advocated for, was you assign the proportionate interest. So if you have 4 people, 2 people sign, 50% of the tract gets calculated into that 20%. And then the last option is you have to require each owner to sign. Otherwise, none of it gets counted. And that is ultimately what they decided was, yeah, if they needed all landowners, otherwise none of that parcel is counted. So I know there were some jurisdictions out here that were interpreting the statute in that way. It was kind of piecemeal, which ultimately I think is the reason why the Supreme Court took up the case, because there are a lot of different ways of interpreting and taking on that issue. So it was happy to see we got that result pretty quick, much quicker than a lot of other folks that have argued in front of the Kansas Supreme Court. So we were definitely happy to get that result, happy to report that win for the county.
Set precedent.
Yeah, absolutely. It's as
So
tough
you
as it
said
goes.
everybody's kind of done a little different. Now everybody has a rule. This is how you have to do it.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. So we got to play a nice part in that, maybe unwillingly at first, but we finished it.
All right.
So happy to report that. Again, I can't really think of any other updates. I have a number of confidential things I have kept in communication with you guys on that has been my main focus as of late. So can't really spend much time up here talking about those. But if you guys have any specific questions, I did look into the de-annexation. Actually, I should talk about that. I looked into the de-annexation along with Michael, and we reviewed the city commission meeting. There was a comment from the commissioners that they only wanted to annex commercial property. We didn't see or hear anything about de-annexing.
Oh.
So we're hoping that remains the case. There is an option to de-annex if they so chose. So we're trying to look around, see where maybe that came up, but I wanted to just share with you guys that we listened to that and didn't hear anything. So thankfully, I think we're okay, at least as of now.
So that project that they're talking about in Pot County,
Mhm.
they would only want to annex the commercial part,
Correct.
not the residential.
Correct.
Huh.
Correct. And I want to say their argument was mostly that, well, they have invested a lot in the infrastructure and everything out there in that side of the county, or they were Pot County, and they want to, maintain the ability to see that infrastructure through and what vision I guess they see through, rather than essentially handing it over to whatever town it gets incorporated to. That's my understanding of their position. So, all right. Anything else? All right, thank you, commissioners.
Next commissioner, we have Brittany at 10:30.
You got it.
Yes.
Good morning.
Barb, can you get the timer all open?
Oh.
Yes, like even with scissors, I can't get it open because this hand's injured too.
Shit. They're childproof for a reason.
Yeah, I'm like, man, that really worked. Huh?
Hey, Brittany, I don't know if Elizabeth chat with you, but for our meeting at 1:30, if you want to just come up to my office, we can do that.
Pulled in the parking lot and John struck, cause he always beats. me.
That's
How-
what Catherine was saying. Hey, he's always here first.
I don't know how much he beats me, right, but he was here before I am.
Yeah, no, he's always here really early.
Oh.
This meeting after this meeting.
Still at 1:30, although we could just do it right after this meeting. I haven't talked to Elizabeth, so I don't know if that works for her, but
Okay,
if that works better for everybody, I'm cool with it.
okay, because I think that's what she understood.
Oh,
That's what she had whispered to me.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
No, I thought I was just saying we do it in our office, but I'm okay with having it right after.
Okay.
Works for me. I just gotta go home and take care of the dogs.
They said when those breakdowns this morning.
Oh yeah. Cool, thanks. I haven't seen anything from bond council yet, but I dug up that memo. I found the memo anyways that she talked about during that meeting, so I gave it to Michael since we're trying to do the whole we'll stay Clancy Craig. This was more of a Craig thing. So Michael's going to be heading this one, so if anything else comes up or you want to have a talk about it, reach out to him first.
Okay. I just didn't know what your guys' dynamic was gonna be.
I figured.
Yeah.
I figured. Oh, Michael's been here since October.
Yeah.
Dang, 9 months. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It doesn't feel like I've been here almost 2 years either, but
Yeah, coming up on 3.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm.
I feel that.
Yeah, agreed. I swear, so that's one of my favorite things about this job is like the stuff that comes through the door. I mean, it just every day is a different day.
Definitely is.
It's like when Michael came in with that subpoena, it was like, oh, okay, we're gonna have that tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, no matter what you plan your day to be like, never actually feels like.
No, yeah.
I'm making a plan, I have stuff on my calendar, but I don't make a.
Right.
Yeah.
I know myself. Just to keep people from coming in my office and asking me.
Now they know where to find you.
Have you heard anything about what they're gonna do about the parking lot that's destroyed?
They said they replaced,
Okay.
they fixed them, yeah.
How long would that take from like when they start working on it?
Maybe a month. Never long it takes to.
You have to walk it from the.
I know.
Years, you had every
I'm
morning.
just like, since I got this position, like literally a month later, then we had the trash chute that was placed in it, so had that, then we had. I mean, that was in there for a long time, and then I've got maybe 1 month out of it, and then the cranes. Yeah. It's just like, I think it's more of that than anything, but. Oh, well.
You got rid of the truck, you can't even park before you stop.
Yeah, I would not try that at all.
Before it has lower than the mark.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can't. The unfortunate thing of buying a stick is we can't swap vehicles because she doesn't know how to drive one. So that makes it a little difficult. But
Did you say that you wanted one
probably not.
special order now?
Yeah, probably not. I think in fact I think it's more of a premium these days.
Wesley had to come home and, but
At
it,
least he's close by.
yeah. Yeah, Wesley must have already been born in the house. So it's on camera pulling up. I called him, like,
Good thing about him being right there.
yeah, I'm like, Connor, can you open the title off? He's like, paying.
His lights are glaring.
Oh,
Like another good chance for storms tonight.
Oh, great. More mud.
yeah. No shortage of that.
I found this one from
I've got a lot of it.
17. So
Yeah, you do.
It's really muddy now. I went down there to check out some of the trash. I
Say again, I'm sorry.
went down along that one side where it was really
Yeah.
checked out a few things.
You gotta be careful going down that. It's more of more of an incline than you think. It'd be.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm used to it though.
Amazing
Yeah,
how
worse
that
spots.
article that or response that someone misconstrued what the city commission said has a broader,
Yeah, that somebody heard, and it's.
that it's related to
Yeah,
that
it's-
makes sense. The other didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I didn't. Somebody
You
gets,
never know.
gets twisted and you can see them.
130 down here. Okay, that
People were
works.
surprised and it.
Clerk conference room. I just, when you said down here, I'm thinking like.
Oh, I'm sorry, like, did you wanna meet in your office? Okay.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Teams.
Gotcha.
Good morning, Commissioners, Budget and Finance Officer Brittany Phillips.
Brittany.
That's okay. People call me the wrong name all the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and present the monthly cash flows. We'll start with the economic development. Of course, we don't bring in any revenue in economic development besides the transfer in from county general. So you won't ever see anything else unless we have a grant like we did last year or anything like that. So for the month of May, we spent $2,500. These are all the Make My Move projects. So these are the checks being cut. We actually just added 2 more to the AP for this week. So
Wow.
we have more people coming in. So that brings our expenditures for the year to 95,570.36, and our total overall expenditures to 128,905, and our unencumbered cash to 246,174. Any questions on this one?
Yeah, aren't we supposed to get money from the state, or is it,
Yes.
when
so
does that come in?
for the next installment of the Make My Move. So Amanda, she gave that update last week, and she'll have to, go back and apply for it again to
Oh,
get the
okay.
rest of the distribution. So we had to wait until we met that halfway mark. So we will be getting that soon. Any
So
other?
that revenue, the 214, that includes that.
No, ma'am. That is just the county general transfer. So we will see that the other distribution from the Home in the Heartland grant probably either in June or July.
Okay,
We should see that.
all right.
Next, we have county building. We brought in a total revenue of $91,484, and we've spent $20,066, bringing our total unencumbered cash to $443,354. Any questions on this one? Okay. Next, we have CIP. Obviously, we're not doing that interest revenue into CIP any longer. That's all sitting in county general. So we don't have any additional revenue here, but we did spend $617,414, bringing our unencumbered cash to $29,193,885. Any questions on CIP? Okay. Next, we have the half-cent sales tax. This reimbursement is for the Marlette project, so that's why there's still some revenue showing in half-cent sales tax. It is not any sales tax revenue that we are bringing in. So just so the public is aware, we have $98,368 in expenditures, bringing our unencumbered cash to $5,885,476. And we have our other sales tax project. We brought in $236,892, and we spent $83,315, bringing our unencumbered cash balance to $8,306,852. Any questions on that? Okay. And then ARPA. So we have spent quite a bit of money. Again, this past month, I think Rich had it on his reports. So we are going to need to do a budget amendment for the disaster fund, because obviously we are over what we originally budgeted, but it's still well within the amount of money that we have in the account. So all of that right now is going to the emergency management remodel. So any questions on it? These reports or anything at all that I can help you with?
Was that, when we talking about taking that out, that CARES fund?
Out of the CIP cares?
I think that's.
Yes, for the remaining balance.
To use the rest of, or to
Yes.
make up some sort.
Yep. And all of those ARPA funds, which we're well on track for, have to be spent by the end of this year. So, which will not be a problem. So, yeah, yeah, we're definitely spending it. So,
Yeah, what about the North County ambulances? It continues to show a balance.
We didn't spend everything. we
105, where
budgeted.
does that go? Don't we have to spend that somewhere?
no, it's
To
just
give it
being used
back.
elsewhere. So, that is how much we originally allocated towards the project,
Mhm.
and it came in under that. And so we're using that remaining amount towards other projects at this point, which is all the emergency management. So really, after we have all of our projected expenditures, we will Let me see if that, is that big enough for
'Cause I
you?
thought that was ARPA funds or care funds.
It's ARPA. This is all ARPA.
Yeah, don't we have to spend that by a certain time?
Yes.
Okay.
So, we're going to continue to spend all of that on the emergency management project.
Okay.
And you can see there's a deficit of 603,000, which we'll take out of the CARES fund, which is in a reserve in CIP right now.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's been showing up every month. I'm just kind of.
Yep, because it was just one of the projects that you guys had approved. And so we had listed this, like, this is the cover sheet that we used for the ARPA, and then each page after that is a breakdown of all the expenditures. And we really wanted the one-page snapshot to
On that, Catherine, that's the original budget,
Mhm.
and so we didn't spend what we anticipated. So it'll just roll over and
Roll.
get spent on other projects.
Okay.
And so that'll show up on the next report
Next
too, just so
report.
you know.
Okay,
It just rolls over and then gets spent over with the other projects.
okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Next commissioner is Catherine Hensler at 10:40 for your earliest convenience. Not having the 11.
Now, do you want to move forward?
Yep, I'm good.
Catherine, are you ready? Do you want to move, do your presentation now? A little early?
Oh, 4 minutes early.
4 minutes.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, I have to remember how to use this. It's not a touch screen.
You go on the left side. Yeah, oh, there you got it now.
All right, good morning, commissioners. Catherine Hensler, Director of the Riley County Historical Museum. I'd like to start off my monthly staff update first with introducing somebody very important to our operations. So I'd like to introduce to you Jen Pursley. She is the new Riley County Historical Society's administrator. So she was hired back in February. She's been going through training, and our schedules have been very busy. Otherwise, I would have had her here earlier to introduce to you around that time she started, but she's been fully trained the last 4 months and getting in the groove, and she is going to step in and take over those well, I shouldn't say going to, she has been taking over administrative duties. So that's going to allow me to work predominantly on actual county museum operations, needs, clean out, etc. So welcome, Jen. We're really glad to have you here. And I wanted to make sure you have the chance to meet her and you know, get to know her. Okay, so then we'll just jump right into our stats. I am reporting on both April and May. Last month, since we were doing budget presentations, I did not present for our April numbers. So I won't go through both month statistics, but you can certainly read them on the charts here. I will note April's attendance was much higher than normal over at the Wolf House because we were doing our 4th grade field trips. So we had 693 kids and their teachers during the course of about 3.5 weeks over at the Wolf House. We also, I believe the number was we had 31 volunteers step up and put all of those hours in. So I would like to publicly thank all of those volunteers who step up and help us with those field trips. Those are 3 exhausting weeks. That's a lot of kids to come through that small museum, but we get it done, and we're very proud to be able to support that program. And then in May, you'll also see a significant increase in attendance. That is because of our attendance at the Flint Hills Festival. So that event always generates a great attendance, and we really always make it a point to be there. So this year we did very similarly what we've done the last couple years is we took some hands-on history activities, and we have found that the old-fashioned washing and drying of clothes is such a hit. So our hands are very clean at the end of the day. We have spent all day teaching kids how to use the washboard, how to wring out laundry, and then how to hang it. And the fun takeaway is always the parents are like, gosh, I wish we could get our kids to work like that at home. And we just tell them, well, just buy 1880 clothes washing equipment and you'll get all the help you want. So again, just a really great turnout at that event. The weather was beautiful, and we certainly look forward to participating and attending at those events in the future. Excuse me. We didn't have anything out of the ordinary in the month of May with attendance at the other sites, but you can certainly see on the report how many visitors we got. And I do want to mention that Sunflower Summer is a program that we've been participating in the last couple years. The state has approved the program again this year. Right now, they're just getting in confirmations on which sites are going to be able to participate this year. I will let you make a public announcement, but we are hoping to be part of that program. Volunteer hours, we're a little bit lower this month. We did great with our general and interns. We did have some community service workers as well. So we're looking at 87 hours in this past month, May of 26. And then if we look at April, it is very relative to the number of volunteers who came out and helped with field trips. We're at 230 and a half for April. Won't go through all of the education and outreach. However, our team is always busy. These could include things like Flint Hills Festival, but also going to like the Amanda Arnold Family Night, as well as just various presentations throughout the community and with different organizations. Collections numbers, excuse me. I'll also note that it's not just volunteers who step up and help with field trips. Our staff also goes out and supports those programs. So Curator Munger spends literally those 3 months along with our Curator of Education, Melanie Highsmith. The two of them really create and produce that program. The rest of us stay up at the museum to make sure we can greet visitors and still run research requests, but those two ladies are the ones that really make that program happen. So that also means collections activity does slow down a little bit during the month of April. However, I will also mention that Curator Munger continues to work on collections backlog and cleaning out the Dallas Gallery. So we do hope to be able to use that space again by the end of the year for meetings as well as presentations. That is something we've really been without at the museum since about 2020, is that education space. So fingers crossed that will all work out. I will mention that the Historical Society has approved the hire of a contract registrar, which will help us clean up that backlogs. So really hoping to make a great impact the rest of the year with the cleanup of the museum. And I know you've all been to the museum, you have seen it, you've seen the backlog. So we are going to be capturing data as far as, we want to be able to prove to the Historical Society that this contract position is very valuable to us. So we will be capturing statistics as we're going through and cleaning up that space. So I won't go all the way back to April, but you can see in May, we brought in 3 individual donations. And just a reminder that the donations are per our donors, basically. So we've had 3 donors come in and they've brought a total of 80 objects. Dawn was able to process 15 individual backlog objects in the month of May. And then we moved into archives and library. In the spring, we often host high school students. So Kent Hildebrandt's students are given basically an end of the year history project, and they have to research local history. He encourages them to use libraries, actual physical locations instead of just the internet. And he always coordinates with us. So we usually bring in, or I shouldn't say bring in, we usually host between 30 and 60 students from his class or his classes every spring. And so this year was the same. Curator Ferens coordinates with them. This year she did try something a little different. Instead of just taking appointments as they come in, she set up a spreadsheet and allowed the students to pick and choose the time they wanted. And it actually helped out greatly with just coordination. So we'll be doing that process again next year. As far as library and archives use, you can see in the month of April, we had 21 total interactions, and those can include from internal and external research requests, in-person appointments. walk-in appointments and photo permission requests. In the month of May, it was a little bit quieter. We had 13. Was discussing building and grounds. We unfortunately had another leak. However, it was resolved very quickly. This wasn't a different location. It had to do with the gutter system and backup and buildup of debris gathering in that location. And then at the end of April, we had a lot of rain. You probably remember, I think it was like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just inundated with heavy rainfall. So we did get that problem taken care of. Maintenance jumped in very quickly. And we are hoping that that has been resolved. We're actually, we've asked maintenance to provide a bit. So we were just doing it seasonal. We're going to ask they come out and clean out those gutters a little more regularly for us, and hopefully we can resolve that in the future. The good news is no collection items were affected by this. However, we did lose a couple old books and some boxes. But again, no collection items. Staffing, and I'll be talking about this a little bit, well, right after this report. We are down to just 3 as-needed museum assistants with 5 that have been budgeted for. So we are having our, unfortunately, having to have some of our full-time exempt staff people, so our curators come in on the weekends, as well as myself, to make sure that we can have the museum open. We really hope to be able to fill those positions with volunteers, but at this point it just hasn't been successful. We have some great volunteers, but not everybody likes public speaking, and that role is public speaking. You do have to be able to give tours. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then I do want to report that the Historical Society participated in Greater Manhattan Community Foundation's Grow Green this past April. It was on April 22nd. They raised $11,025 with donations, and then their match amount totaled $47.50. So that's a grand total of $15,775. That has been designated towards capital improvements and preservation projects for their properties. Again, this money does not come to the county. It stays in the historical nonprofit side, but it can be used for whatever they deem it for. And this year it was for preservation work. And the board and their committees continue to work on a new sign for the Wolf House. 2 donors have stepped up to help with that project. And right now the various committees that work on that are just deciding design, appearance, where it's going to be located, and it will have to go to city review. It is in a historic district, so it applies to historic district regulations as well as sign regulations. And then if you have a chance, swing by the Wolf House property. The work on the studio is just about finished. It looks great. You might remember I've been reporting about this since the day I got here because it's always been a problem site. It's looking great. It is just a huge improvement from what its original appearance was. And so right now the board still has not provided guidance on what they want to use that building for. However, they're in the process of trying to figure that out. For now, it just, the whole site looks greatly improved. The next step, of course, will be preservation and restoration of the 30-panel glass skylight. And then they'll ultimately move to the studio's interior. By then they will know what they want to do with that building. And then after this week's board meeting, which will occur on June 10th, they will be going on summer recess. They will then reconvene September the 9th. So looking forward to upcoming events, we do have some history on the roads. We had a very successful June 4th History on the Road to Deep Creek. That went very well. I believe we counted 38 individuals who showed up for that, and that was in the middle of a thunderstorm last Thursday night. So great turnout. We're getting some really good responses about going into the communities and providing programming rather than hosting here in Manhattan and asking everybody to come out for us. So we do have 2 others on the calendar. June 26th, we'll be going to the First Territorial Capitol. That's in Fort Riley. And then July, actually, I don't think I made it on here. July 29th, we'll be going to Ogden. And a couple other things Important to note, June 20th, we'll be holding a cemetery preservation workshop. That will be at St. Patrick's Cemetery in Ogden. And then if you haven't had a chance to see the Y2K temporary exhibit at the museum, that will be closing on June 28th. And we'll be installing an America 250 exhibit at that time. Also, July 4th, the museum and the Historical Society sites are participating in Light to Unite. It is a national, just light your property with red, white, and blue in the flag. So we will be sending out some material about that, but we do encourage all of the community to participate. If any of our government offices wish to do that, I can send information. But it'll just be a nice and simple way for us to fly the colors on the 4th of July. We will be holding our first ever Living History Day on July 10th and the 11th from 10 a.m. until 2. This will be for people of all ages. It's not just for kids. We'll have demonstrators, we'll have reenactors, and just a number of fun hands-on history programs for attendees. Given that we don't really have a place to prepare food, we are inviting everybody, this is very old-fashioned, but kind of cool. We'll be inviting everybody to bring a picnic lunch, and they can picnic with us out on the grounds. The majority of the programming will be held at the Goodnow House, but we'll, of course, have the museum open. We'll have our new exhibit open, and there will be air conditioning and bathroom facilities in that space, as most of the events, excuse me, that we offer. This will be free and open to the public. And like I said, you know, it's definitely youth focused, but it'll be fun for all. And then just get this on your calendars. This is more of a date. September the 12th, we'll be hosting a Victorian hair art workshop. There's a gal out of Kansas City named Courtney Lane who practices and teaches this very art. Now, this is a Victorian phenomenon. And if you visited our museum, well, we took the hair wreath down when we opened up our new exhibit, but you probably remember we had that gigantic hair wreath. We do still have a couple pieces of hair art available and on exhibit in the Wolf House, but this is an art which really has not continued. So we want to teach people how it's done. And if anyone has an interest, of course, they can then learn it, pass it on to generations to come. So more to come. Sorry, Josh. Now we have received the question of like, can I bring my own hair? And the answer is no. Courtney will be sourcing the product. She will make sure it's also sanitary. So, you know, please don't bring your own hair to this workshop. Just get this on your calendar. We'll be sending out some information a little bit later on once we have more details. And then September 19th through the 20th, we will be hosting, well, I should say we're co-hosting an at-home Chautauqua event. So that will be held at Manhattan City Park. We are not the lead on this, but we are going to be helping and supporting. More information on that to come as well. That concludes my presentation. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, we'll just jump right in then with the request to file the new position. Well, I shouldn't say it's not a new position. Okay. So as I mentioned in my report, the museum currently employs 3 as-needed museum assistants. We do have a total of 5 that are budgeted, and at one time we did have all of those 5 positions filled. However, the current team of 3 are soon to be unable to put in the hours needed to fill those various shifts. And the shifts we're having particular trouble with are weekend shifts. So I am requesting today to fill one of those as-needed positions. This is a budgeted for position in our 2026 personnel budget, as well it has been proposed for the 2027 budget. So each of these positions averages approximately 416 hours annually. And the assistant we hope to hire will be filling a vacancy that was left open back in November of last year. We're very fortunate when this individual stepped down, we had 3 who could take on more hours. And so we've just been giving those hours to those three. One of those three has committed to another position. And while she's still staying in this role, she's really going to have to limit her hours. So we basically just need someone to fill those extra hours. And the as needed museum assistant is compensated at $15 an hour. It is not benefit eligible. And there will be no fiscal impact beyond what has already been in the approved 2026 personnel budget. And so I hope today, I would like to recommend that we hire or at least move forward with posting the position and accepting applications. Does anyone have any questions?
I'd move to approve the request to fill the as-needed museum assistant.
I would second that. It's been moved and seconded to approve the request to fill the as-needed museum assistant. On favor? Aye.
Thank you very much.
Please sign.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Everything else. And I think it was, Brittany, you're gonna move that to Monday if we have time? I'm not, I can't remember what all's on the agenda, but.
I'll look and I'll get with Cindy.
Okay, great.
Well, I'd move to adjourn the June 8th meeting of the Riley County Commission.
I'd second that. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn the June 8th meeting of the Raleigh County Commission. So in favor?
Aye.
Aye.